Hey guys, we're going to be in John chapter 16. We're going to be in verse 12. It says this, I have yet many things to say unto you, but ye cannot bear them now. We're have an advantage because we can look back on all of these stories of the scripture and we can see where Jesus is in all of it. We can walk right through this thing and see this and see that God has been faithful to bring about our salvation. That wasn't true of the disciples. The disciples had the Old Testament. They had the Old Testament. And when they're studying the Old Testament, they see these prophecies. They believe Jesus is the Messiah, but they believe in a political Messiah. For the most part, they're beginning to see some things that Jesus is teaching. They're beginning to see that he's not quite the Messiah they were thinking he would be. You know, they were thinking this war, this general coming in, and certainly Jesus will be that kind of a leader one day. But this warrior coming in, they were expecting this great general to come in and deliver them from Rome and make them free that way, and that they would be the great people of the world again and all of that. But that wasn't what he was there for. He was there to die on a cross. So he's sitting here and he's telling this story. You know, he's like, look, I've got a lot of things to tell you. Got a lot of things to share with you. And he does end up sharing quite a few with things with them. But not right now. He's like, guys, I want to tell you, I've got some things to share with you, but you're not ready right now. You know, you can't even bear them. You can't, if I were to tell you everything that's going to happen and how it's going to happen, it would break you down and bust you up. The reason I want to bring this verse up is because I want you to think on what it is he was going to tell them. Going to tell them that he was going to be offered up. He was going to tell them that he was going to have to die. He was going to tell them that he was going to go to some place that they could not come. Not then and there, certainly one day would. He was going to tell them things that would blow their mind, and they just weren't quite ready to bear them yet. In fact, for some of them, if not most of them, it took the resurrection of Jesus Christ for them to understand and to be able to bear what just happened. Why do you have to die on a cross? Why do you have to be beaten so? Why do you have to be hated so? Why do you have to be despised so? It doesn't make any sense. Why do you have to die? Why do you have to be buried? You're the Messiah. You're to deliver us, right? They had the type of deliverance wrong. I want you to think on when he says to those disciples, this is going to be too much for you to bear right now. Think about it. If we just spend a little bit of time thinking about what Jesus did for us, that God, who is infinitely powerful and mighty and all-knowing, came to this world in the form of man and suffered and died for you and your sin, for me and my sin. It is mind-blowing. There's nothing the world is doing right now, including artificial intelligence or anything like that, that blows my mind like what Jesus did for me. Love you guys. Bye-bye.